So I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of things. I know people have been concerned about price, especially when they're first starting out. So there's a couple of things. Painting on a budget. These are some acrylic paints I get at my local Walmart. This is just an apple barrel, and this is a matte finish. These run 50 cents, and sometimes they're even on sale. We also have the apple barrel that is a multi-surface. It's indoor-outdoor, and it's satin, so it doesn't dry matte like the rest of them, but I've never really had a problem. This is one from Folk Art. It's one of my favorites. It's the antique copper, and it's a metallic. They come in lots of metallic colors, and they're great for accent colors. These run about 97 cents where I buy them. And then these ones, the Waverly, they're high performance and they're semi-gloss. They're also indoor-outdoor, so there's really not a lot of fading or anything that goes with them, and they're a very thin paint, so they naturally create cells together. Depending on, you know, I'll use my apple barrel, and this will cell up with the apple barrel very naturally. And I mix all of these with just water, and I use filtered water. This is filtered from my refrigerator, so I don't keep buying water. It's, you know, just naturally filtered. Also for canvases, if you're just practicing and your paints are not selling yet, I get these. This is an 11 by 14. It's just a board. I got 24 of these for $7 off of Amazon. You can get them just about anywhere. I like these better because they don't warp. But even if they do warp, I take mine, I turn it over once it's dry, and I put a 5-pound weight down on top of it. And you may just be practicing and may not be looking to sell that, but sometimes you get a great piece of work. And I got a dollar store frame, and I framed it, and now it's ready to sell. So not all of them are going to sell. People like different things, but I've found that even if I don't like it, I'll take it to my show, and it'll sell before some of the other pieces that I do like sell. So this one was done with mostly house paint. The colors in here, besides the metallic colors, the rest of this is all house paint. Now I get those from these little samples that people return, and this one is bare. It's indoor-outdoor paint, and it's got primer in it. And this one I got for 50 cents. You can get these $3 to $5, but these are already colored, and I got this one for 50 cents. And for other paints, typically you'll buy a gallon of paint, you'll spend $30 to $40. This was returned, it was already colored black. I got it for $9. This does a whole lot of colors, a whole lot of paint. Now if you do graduate to canvases, this is a 6-pack that I got from Michael's. It was on sale. I got this for $10. If you go to Hobby Lobby, you can get 5-packs and 10-packs and 7-packs all day long of different size canvases for $10 all day long. You can get those. Now this is for people who are practicing all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't mean that your pictures aren't going to sell. These colors and these combinations are very inexpensive, and they do make great pieces of artwork. Now this was done with all apple barrel colors and house paint. This one I just sold, so I'm getting ready to coat it. And I coat these with polycuric. It's water-based, it dries, and it's with a foam brush. You put it on there, you can't even see the brush strokes or anything. And this is a clear semi-gloss because I don't want this to be all too shiny so you can't see it when the sun hits it. Now this is not a canvas that is It's just a stapled back canvas, so it's not gallery wrapped. And sometimes those canvases aren't as tight as what some people would like them. So I tape them off with my painter's tape. Take some regular filtered water, spray the back of them real good, let it sit, and in about an hour that'll be tighter than a drum, and it'll work just as well as a gallery wrapped canvas. Won't sell as much, but it will sell. And this is the Floetrol that I use for mixing all my paints, and I'll show you how I gotta mix up some black, so I'll show you next how I mix that up. But this is painting on a budget. The one painting that I just showed you, I probably spent about $2 on this painting with all the paints, the canvas, all of that. The only thing I didn't account for was my time making it. So there you go. We can all create beautiful things and not have to spend a lot of money until we're ready to start selling our paintings. Thanks for watching. Here comes the video for mixing next. Mixing my house paint. One part house paint. House paint is very thick, but it also doesn't fade. And right now I'm using black because that's what I needed to mix. But it doesn't fade, it doesn't chip, whether you're using white, black, red, any of that. This is the colors I use for my background. So, also reusing things, so I'm not spending any money on different canisters. I use these 5 or 6 times. These cups also that I mix in. Red Solo cup. I also use those 2 or 3 times depending on the project that I'm working on. And then my Floetrol. Give it a good shake. I shook it before the video. But I'm gonna fill this cup right to where I filled up the black paint. Give it a nice stir to get the rest of that black paint out of the bottom of that cup. And remember, your paint is never going to be any thinner than the pouring medium. Doesn't matter how much you use, it's always going to be just as thin as your pouring medium until you add water, which I do because I do a lot of Dutch pours. And to try to get an accurate measurement, I don't weigh my paints to do precise. I've kind of, after the last couple years, know what consistency I want for what pour that I want. I've always really used Floetrol, something I'm comfortable with. I looked at the glue all that a lot of people are using, but costs about the same. So I really haven't tried it. I haven't changed. Although, you know, that things go on sale all the time, so maybe I will try it. But right now, I'm really liking the Floetrol. Costs about $13 to $14 in the US. I'm in Idaho, so it could be more or less depending on where you're at. I get mine from Lowe's because they carry the bigger bottles. Have a hard time finding the big bottles at the Home Depot. But once all of this is mixed up, then I can use it for any kind of pour. So with this thickness that it's at right now, I can use it for rain pours or flip cups or dirty pours or anything like that. But if I want to do a Dutch pour, which is one of my very favorite, Canella and Rinska are one of my two favorite idols in this type of pouring. And so when I get ready to use it, I will pour this mixture into a different cup and thin it with water. And I use filtered water, bottled water, just because you don't want any kind of mold or anything like that growing, and this helps for that not to happen. So there you have it, and mix well. Shaking it real good every time you use it, and that is how I mix my base paint.